Hello. In this class, we will be talking about the vector calculus or particularly vector integrals. That means what are the types of vector integrals that we have and how we will apply this concept in electromagnetic theory. So basically there are three types of integrals that we generally use. One is your line integral. Next we have this surface integral. Another we have volume integral. So these are the three types of integral operations that we'll be doing for different type of surface. These are based on different surfaces. So for line integral, as you can see that this line integral is basically for any kind of line, straight line or any bend line. In any kind of lines we will use this line integrals to evaluate, and in surface integrals we will use a simple surface like a page of a paper and all. And in volume it is a three-dimensional figure, it should be, and this three-dimensional figure should be of the order of, say, it can be a square, it can be a sphere, it can be a cylinder, any kind of volume that we actually face in real life, that will be used for calculations of volume integrals. So to start with, let us talk about this line integral first. These line integrals is actually defined. It's a vector quantity. So line integral, I'll write it at Li of a vector field, any vector field denoted by E over an arbitrary path L. Any path L, I'm showing you by figure, any path L that will be written as this, like this. Line integral of E vector dl is defined as the integral of tangential component of vector E along path L, that is along that path. Now to represent, so what line integral says, line integral of any vector field E, where E is the vector, over an arbitrary path L. This path L is actually a path or a line written as, this is the denotation, integral, line integral of any vector. This is the denoted by integral of E vector dl, and this is defined as the integral of tangential component. So I have to remember this term, this is the tangential component. So we will going to integrate the tangential components of E vector along the whole path L. Okay, so how it is, let us draw a figure and explain the thing to you. These are here. So let us have this line, say suppose this line is xy. So this xy is a line. So we want to integrate this line x to y. Suppose we want to integrate this line from x to y. So what we will do? So suppose there are electric lines of forces or magnetic lines of forces incident over this line. So from any point, suppose this point, the vector is E vector is here, and this is the direction of the line. Okay, so that is, we represent this section as an infinitesimal small section dl. This line we represent. So now the full path from x to y, suppose this is your L, full L that I was talking about here. So in this case, in case of this xy, from x to y, this x and y are endpoints of path L. So L is the full line, and this x and y are the two end points. Okay, so the line integral can be represented as line integral of vector E dl. If this is the case, L is equals to x y, magnitude of vector E cos of theta dl. So what is theta? Theta is the angle subtended by this dl with the vector e, any vector e. So this is the line, xy line, and this is the vector e. So the angle between the line and the vector e is your theta. So we will represent the line integral as vector e, line integral of vector e dl is equals to the magnitude of that particular vector and product with cos theta, right? So this is the representation of line integral, where, as I said, theta, where, or I can write where theta is angle between e vector and dl vector. Okay, so for a close up, this is line is x and y. This is an open line. Open line means it does not have any closed surface. So suppose we are having any closed surface where the line is closed, that means like this, say this is a closed line. That means if I start from here, it is being closed here. So it's a closed surface line, and again electric lines of forces are incident over here in these directions. These are your E fields, E vector fields. So and this is your total, this path is your total path of length L. Okay, length is from here to here, all this full path, this total path is your denoted by length L. That only the difference is that these two are open-ended lines. That means x and y are open-ended line, but here the line is closed, it is joined. So if that is the case, the line integral will be denoted by only by this sign. This sign is your closed line integral sign, and that will be denoted by vector e vector to dl vector. So this is about line integral, and one or two more important things that we need to remember regarding line integrals, which are, let me write you these three points. So the points, important points to remember are: number one, if closed surface integral of any vector a dl or e dl, whatever be the case, is equals to 0, in this case vector is said to be conservative field or restoring field. That means if this line integral of a vector is 0, it is called a conservative field, or what I said, restoring field. Okay, and the second point is, if this closed line integral of any vector a dl is unequals to 0, then these are called non-conservative, or you may say it is non-restoring field. So this is all about line integrals. Next we will come to that our discussion related to surface integral. So far we have discussed, so among these two vector integrals we have discussed this line integral. Now we are going to discuss the surface integral, how we will represent a circle, a surface integral in any coordinate system. Okay, so for this, to denote surface integral is actually, so number 2 is surface integral. So this surface integral is denoted by xi, that is equals to surface integral of magnitude of any vector cos theta, cos of theta ds. So only in place of L it will be S. Our other representations are same, and this theta, again like before, is the angle between that vector A, this vector A and unit vector an. Normal, previously it was tangential, but here it is the angle subtended by A and unit vector an, normal to the surface S. I am drawing a figure, so you will be able to understand in that figure itself. So let us now take an arbitrary surface like this. Consider this is a surface, not a closed line. Previous figure you may get confused that previous figure and this figure is more or less similar, but this is not exactly the same. This is a total sheet like a page of a paper. Previously it was like a ring. In case of line integral it was like a ring, but here in this case this is a flat surface. This surface can be of any shape or size. It can be rectangular like pages of our copies, and it can be any arbitrary shape is like this one also. So it is actually a total shape. So if this is your shape and your lines of forces are incident in this surface like this, these are these vectors, that is in any vector you can represent by any vector. These are electric field vectors, you can represent it by E vector. If it is magnetic vector, it is represented by H vector, like this. More or less what I want to say, that if this any kind of vector which is passing through this surface like this, then you have to draw a simple planar surface or a unit planar surface within, or that is included within the surface, and the angle subtended by these lines of forces and to the normal, which is the an vector, as I said in our previous classes regarding analysis of vectors. So this angle between the unit vector an and these lines of the vectors is represented by theta. So when I am talking about this xi is equals to surface integral of magnitude of vector A product of cos theta. So this theta is the angle between A and AN normal to the surfaces. That means this, you can see that this is normal to the surface, the surface is this. So this AN will be like this, normal to the surface. Okay, so the angle between if this is like this, so the normal to the surface AN. So the angle between this and suppose the lines are in this direction, so this angle is your theta, right? So this is all about surface integral. Also, this sometimes it can be represented by the simplification. We can write in some places, we can write this A, or rather in terms of unit vector we can write it as like this, AN ds, or sometime it can be written this is also equals to ADS vector. This also can be written. These are different kind of representations that we can get. So this equation gives flux of A through X. As you can see that these are actually fluxes, lines of forces. It can be electric lines of forces or magnetic lines of forces. So this equation gives you the flux of vector A through the surface S. Now if this is a closed surface, so you can simply write for closed surface, this xi will be, for closed surface, you can simply write this xi is equals to, like this sign will be closed surface. If AS is vector A into ds, so this is the representation of this surface integral in closed surface. Next we come to our discussion related to what? Volume integral, right? So let us now go to the volume integral. Volume integral is exactly or more or less similar to that we have already discussed. Volume integrals, right? So volume, in case of volume integrals, you will not use a line, you will not use a surface. It is considered that for volume integral we need a solid surface, that is it can be a sphere, it can be a rectangular or parallelopipe kind of 3D, or it can be a cuboid like. So this volume integral can be defined in both, it can be defined for both scalar and vector fluids. So first point is can be defined for both scalar and vector field. This is your first point to note. So let us write one by one. So say for scalar we can write say any scalar field. Suppose we consider any scalar field as rho over volume V. So any scalar field rho over a volume V So we can write this as volume integral of rho dV. So this is a representation of volume integral of any scalar field rho over a volume V is represented by integral of or volume integral of rho dV, where this dV is actually the element of the volume. That means it is a unit element. This like say suppose this is your cuboid like this. So this is your cuboid. So this dV will represent the volume or a 3D volume like this of a unit of the total volume. I mean, you can say that this is a small part of the full volume. So now this is the definition for scalar. Now let us consider what for vector. For vector fields, say again if this rho is again a vector field, only here vector sign is not there, so we simply using the same row and putting a vector sign here. So for any vector field over a volume V, same volume over a volume V, so this can be represented by same V rho dV, only the vector sign will appear, right? So what is the difference? If we can what I can say, the maximize this expression. So in Cartesian coordinate, what we will write? So other coordinate system you can easily understand if I write the Cartesian coordinate system, since you know the space variables. So in Cartesian coordinate system, we will simply write this volume integral, say P is equals to unit vector Ax V of rho x dV plus Ay volume integral of rho y dV plus Az volume integral of rho z dV. So all these will be vectors. So you can say that for a Cartesian coordinate system we will have simply have the sum of the that sum of the vectors in all directions, like x direction, y direction and z directions. Likewise for any surface you can use it for cylindrical also. In place of x it will be rho, in place of y it will be phi, and in place of z it will be z for cylindrical system, and for spherical system it will be r, it will be theta, and this will be phi. So this is all about our vector calculus, vector integrals, line integral, surface integral, and general concept of volume integral. In our future classes we'll use this concept for say evaluation of different other systems in different boundary conditions, right? Okay.